Hi friends, this is Annie with Indieconomy, and this is your Indieconomy update. So, as you may know, if you've been following along, I moved a little while ago. It might be about 2 months now, maybe a little less. And as you can see, my office is still a little crazy, and I blame IKEA. That blue wall behind me is going to be all floor to ceiling shelves, bookshelves, but they've been out of stock at IKEA since I moved, so that's not happening. And I also went down a few other roads of building them myself and hiring a carpenter and stuff, and I decided to just stick with the old standby IKEA. You know, having a really nice office that's like, looks like it could be on a magazine or apartment therapy or something. Yeah, that's pretty low standard. I mean, I wasn't even aiming for Architectural Digest, it was just apartment therapy. That's nice, but I would rather have it be done quickly and be practical and inexpensive so I can spend money on things that are more important. And so, anyway, hence the IKEA shelves, but we're still waiting. So, there's a lot of junk back there at the moment, things that I need to move somewhere else. So, do excuse me, but this is real life, independent entrepreneur reseller talk, and that's what happens when you move. I had these dreams of instant perfection, and it's taking a while to get organized, but everything's very functional at the moment. I can, find inventory fast, and that's all that really matters. Anyway, that's part one. And part two of what I have been thinking about lately is I'm getting really excited to open a Shopify store. It's something I've been mulling over for, I don't know, at least a year, if not longer. And this is not to necessarily duplicate what I'm selling on eBay or elsewhere. It's a whole different concept. And I'll be ready to tell you more about it soon, but at the moment I'm still struggling with the whole insecurity and will it work and figuring out some details part. But I am excited about it, and it's cool to start a new venture. Though it brings up a lot of interesting things. For example, though I'm very, up on my eBay store and list and sell and ship and do all that like every day, I've been really neglecting my Etsy store, which I think is a really good concept, and I have a lot of good backstock I want to add to it, but I just for some reason have this kind of resistance to working on my Etsy store, and I don't know why. I mean, like I just said, I stand by it conceptually and aesthetically and curatorially, but for some reason I don't like writing Etsy listings, which is weird because I like writing flowery stuff. But I'm trying to think of a way to maybe get some help with that. I don't know if that's practical. I have to do some math and go over the numbers and see what I really think delegating could do for me in that realm. And then there's the whole like finding an online person or finding a in real life person and how much to pay them and how to structure it and how to train them and if they should work here or they should work at their place. And there's just a lot of questions, and I have to work through them because I do want my Etsy store to go on and live a valuable, fulfilling life. And I think it can, and I think it can actually tie with the other things I'm doing, or it does already, and it can continue to meld in with my new Shopify concept. But I need to work on it more consistently, and I've been horrible about it. So there's that. And oh, and it brings up the question. It's like, do you keep working on things that you're not motivated to do? Do you force yourself to do them, or do you take it as a sign that it's not what you should be doing, or do you pivot, or do you delegate? These are the questions that the eclectic entrepreneur faces. So just thought I'd chat about some of these things. And other than that, I was going to do a quick what sold recently video with bolos and non-bolos and ideas, just because I haven't done one in a while. And if you don't know what bolo means, I totally support you, because it is the dumbest acronym. It means be on the lookout for, and why it's not both, or be on lookout, be on like bodle or something. I don't know. It's a really silly acronym, and it's just trying to be like YOLO and BOGO, and they're all silly. So bolo means be on the lookout for, like, things to look for when you're outsourcing. And I guess I've just given into peer pressure and used it like everyone else. But I have sympathy if it seems like a new stupid word to you. Anyway, so I'm going to just go over a few things that have sold of late, and not even like in the past, I guess, week, but it's not everything, and it's not even that planned. It's just some stuff. This ad sold today. I listed it yesterday, which was kind of exciting. Here it is. It's an ad for a beer that does not exist and has not for a very long time, as far as I know. Harvard Green Label beer from Harvard Brewing Company in Lowell and Boston, Massachusetts. And this is kind of a bolo, not exactly this ad per se, but this was from the inside front cover of a playbill from 1917. And playbills are a good place to find ads. They don't sell that well on their own. This one may have or may not have, I don't know, but the ads are usually pretty good and worth more than the whole thing together if you cut them up. And again, inside front cover ones are often full page, full color, which is great. So I look for alcohol, cars, theoretically cigarettes, though I tend to stay away from them just because I don't like them. Just probably a silly business decision, but sometimes perfume, sometimes medicine or clothes or anything that is a popular ad category. So anyway, but beer is usually a good one. So this sold for full price in less than 24 hours. All right, this is a press photo from whatever, DuckTales. The full thing looks like this. It's like an 8x10 black and white glossy, which is kind of weird when it's from a cartoon, but that's what it is. It was distributed, in a press kit to newspapers or magazines to print reviews or upcoming promo for this movie. Copyright 1987. It has the Buena Vista Television, which is part of Disney, mark right on it. That sold for full price, which wasn't very much, $14.50, and this has been up for a long time. Actually, I got a bunch of Disney press photos. This is one of the last ones to go, though strangely I still have some Bambi. I guess everyone's too traumatized to buy, so yeah. Okay, this also sold today. It's just a little figurine of these people, Mary and Jesus. And I forget what it's made of. Maybe it says in my listing, maybe not. I guess not. But it's, I don't know, it's plastic or celluloid or nothing fancy, and it only sold for $9. But it is a bolo in that religious stuff, Catholic especially, sells really well, although this took a while. Most of the other things I got with it sold really quickly, which were religious medals and little plaques you put in your car and stuff. And this, I think, is a thing to put in your car. I'm not sure. It has that kind of bottom. Anyway, so be on the lookout for Jesus. This is a letter and the envelope it came in from 1875. Here's the envelope. So this sold along with 4 others from the same area, group of people. And I know that this buyer buys things from this lot quite often, this particular area and piece of history. So that's cool. And I hope he's doing some like really awesome research project with them or something. But anyway, this letter is interesting in that, well, actually the content isn't that interesting. It's talks about the health of various people and neighborhood stuff, grandma and grandpa. So it's just like a family newsy letter. It is from 1875. It is from a particular place. It's not signed, which is interesting, but if you've read other ones from this group of people, you can kind of figure it out. And also, I mean, I find it interesting that on the cover or the envelope, the stamp's on the wrong side because things weren't as regulated back then. It's interesting. Target cancel. This isn't a fancy cancel per se, but it's kind of cool. We have the regular postmark, and also I love that this person uses the old style S for double S. So this is Miss, and he does that in the actual writing as well, which is really cool. I don't know. It's 1875. It's really late for that to be still doing that. Let's see if I can see one in here. Yeah, do you see distress in there with distress? I don't know, I just found that kind of charming. Anyway, this sold for full price at $18.50 along with 4 others in this series, shall we say, from this family. That was cool. I love old letters. They take a while to read and list, but I just find them very aesthetically pleasing. All right. This is a Skylab poster from NASA, and my photos are really bad, actually, of this, but whatever. And so basically it folds up to this, and it folds out with this, and it folds out to this, and it folds out to this. So it's a pretty cool poster. It has a ton of information on it. It's like infographic-y. And I had 2 of these, and for some reason they both sold in the past week, even though they've both been up for, I want to say, at least 6 months. So there must have been some magic at the eBay's algorithm that made them, pop to the top of something. And so, again, kind of a bolo, like cool old NASA stuff. Art, it's just, I'm really embarrassed by my photos right now. But, things that are just kind of aesthetically pleasing like this, that are vintage, just definitely something to be on the lookout for. All right, next we have a postcard. Sold a lot of postcards past few weeks, but this one was just kind of weird. This one is for, it's like an advertising postcard for this candy company, but it also has a stadium on it. And stadiums are great, advertising's great, candy, like specific candy brands, all good things. So I don't know what it sold for, but it had a lot going for it. And this is the back. So this was, see, it's advertising it, like has something pre-written on it about the candy. And this was mailed in 1909 for what that's worth. Okay. This I just had to include because it's weird and creepy. This doll has been listed for a long time. I want to say maybe 2 years, maybe less. I don't know. It's been up for a long time. And I forget where I got it. though it was definitely not something I bought on purpose per se. It was either in a lot at an auction, or it might have belonged to my aunt, whose house I sort of cleaned out. Anyway, it did belong to her actually. She kind of liked creepy dolls. Anyway, so it's like some sort of elf or gnome, or I don't even know, but its eyes close like that. And it is some old plastic. It might be cellulite, it might be some other early plastic, and it's got this funny, uh, you know, gnome slash alpine outfit on, and this little wooden stand. So they finally sold. I was happy to see her leave my storage room. And anyway, creepy dolls, yes. Another bolo. This is to a degree, it's a bolo. This is a postcard by the artist Clarence Underwood, and he did images like this in the Edwardian era, like 1910-ish. And they're really quite masterful illustrations. Like, look at her dress. And they're always really pretty and really sentimental. Usually couples that I've seen of his. And there's ones that are in English, there's ones that are in German, there's maybe ones that are in other languages, though I've mostly just seen English and German. Anyway, somebody bought this one plus three others, I think, three other Clarence Underwoods. So that was a nice sale. They are kind of slow sellers, but they are definitely still collected. So that's something to look out for. I actually bought a lot of Clarence Underwood postcards in an auction, and I think there were 20 or 30. So it was a nice little way to not corner the market per se. I mean, I haven't looked into it, but a nice way to get a bulk of these up if somebody's looking for one. And I personally like them. So there you go. And so 4 of those sold this week. Here is a lot of 2 of these vintage flashlights, and these are Rayovac Sportsman. Actually, this lot was for these 2 plus this other one, but the person wrote to me, and we worked out a price for just the 2 silver ones and not this one, which I will eventually relist. This one is kind of weirder and less collectible, but whatever, it's fine. So these, I sold him these for $22 for 2. I think I could have probably got more, but that's what I charged him. And so yeah, old flashlights, good bolo. Rayovac or any sort of well-known brand and like nice design. These have I don't know, there's kind of neat, simple chrome, sturdy, take huge batteries, still work, all that. And I got these, I think I got these both for $5 at antique store in Maine at some point. So you can do okay on these. And like I said, I probably could have charged more. So old flashlights. And then finally we have, this is a receipt from a button company from the, 1940. And usually I sell receipts and things like that are older than this. They do better, but this one I think had going for it that it has this nice illustration of buttons, and buttons are a thing that obviously people collect and are interested in. These happen to be upholstery buttons. I think that's neither here nor there. Yep, people used this font even back then. Oh, it really kind of makes me a little sad. But anyway, this I got at an estate sale at an upholstery factory, where I got gobs and gobs, like a car full of stuff for $150, including tons of bolts of upholstery fabric, which I did recently prior to moving, actually send to an auction house, and they sold for, oh geez, I don't know. I think maybe it was about, well, I got about $300. Actually, I'm not sure if they've all sold yet. I think they haven't. But anyway, they're averaging, significantly more than I paid, even with all the auction fees, since I paid pretty much nothing. I mean, I say that, but it was $150. I got 30 large bolts of fabric and tons of like trim, upholstery trim, all kinds of stuff I've been selling. And also a ton of stuff from the office, like old ledgers and tons of old paper and things like this, receipts and sample books and all kinds of stuff. It's mostly sold by now. This was a while ago. And a lot of it I've also been using for my Etsy store. So it was a really great deal. It was one of those ones where you could tell the seller was overwhelmed and just wanted the stuff out of there. It was like a really kind of gross, old, dusty, messy, dirty place that was falling apart. It was just kind of a free for all, like, just take stuff and then offer them some money. So, at any rate, that's where this came from. And it's just interesting that you can sell old, not even that old, 80-year-old ratty receipts like this. So, there you go. I think that's all for today, lest I ramble on too endlessly. But I'll be back with more sundry news, reseller stuff, and bolos and solds and hauls and all that, reseller stuff. Anyway, hope this was in some way helpful or interesting. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you, and take care. Oh, and P.S. This white person behind me is Sophia, and she's asleep. Otherwise, she'd say hi.